Hey, what up guys? In this one I'm playing Eagle Springs, which was formerly known as Brighton Crest. Table Mountain Casino bought it in 2010. Let's get out to the course, second 18 of the day, and see how I did. And we're starting the day off with what I thought was an okay drive. Even the people in the group behind me said, hey, at least you can see the ball. But when I got to where I thought my ball landed, it was nowhere to be found. So that was kind of a bummer. I ended up taking a drop and 2 strokes, and we're hitting shot number 4 into the green. And unfortunately, this one falls short and to the right. And in typical mid-handicap form, we're already behind the stroke count. It didn't help that this chip also went through the green, and I'm on the back fringe. One thing about this course, it's very hilly, very undulated, and the greens are no joke. I ended up barely tapping this one, and it rolls out pretty far. And honestly, we're limiting the damage here with a 2-putt from off the fringe, and I'll take it.
Triple.
This course is a Johnny Miller design, and he takes advantage of all the hills here.
Oh, it faded. It's gonna be pretty short.
And I will say this is probably one of the cooler golf courses in the Central Valley. Here's a long birdie attempt.
Down, 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 down. Ah.
My first putt went pretty far past the hole, but the second putt ends up draining for a par.
Cool.
And one thing to note, this course is pretty hard on all fronts. This one gets lucky and kicks down.
Oh, get through.
I misangled my camera, but it rolls up to the front of the green.
Got through.
And I get an unfortunate fringe boost.
Oh my gosh, it kicked forward on the...
Honestly, we're going to need a replay on that fringe boost action.
Oh my gosh, it kicked forward on the... Oh my gosh, it kicked forward on the...
Anyways, we're not going to break any scoring records today. Look at this putt. I barely tap it, and it goes out a pretty long distance. But somehow, it ends up being short.
There she goes.
But watch this next putt.
A little short, I'm surprised.
I hardly take this one back, and it just keeps rolling.
Fall down, fall down. Oh, whoa. What the heck?
And it just doesn't stop.
This is brutal.
And here is the returner for a 3-putt, and I don't convert it.
Wow, I 4-putted, like an actual 4-putt.
Coming up next is a really cool hole with an elevated tee shot, and I sky it.
And I skied it. Well, I think I skied it safely.
But at least we're safe in the fairway. Here I'm just taking out my 4-iron. Hopefully I get somewhere around the green. And it ends up short and right. And now we're going for a large bump and run. It goes over this hill, breaks right to left.
Come down and to the left. Don't hate it.
And after being psyched out by my last 4-putt ordeal, this one ends up being short.
Please, please. Oh, a little short.
And we're moving on to the next hole.
It's a good line.
One thing I will say is that the course was playing very slow. There was a pretty slow foursome in front of me. And a slow course does not pair well when you're playing your second 18. Coming up next, I'm just trying to lay up close to the water.
Oh, that did not feel good.
As the next shot into the green has a little bit of carry. And watching the group in front of me, I knew that I needed to be a little long because there's a huge hill that you have to putt up, but I failed to execute. There's someone in the group in front of me that ended up putting multiple times because it rolled back down to the hill.
Down.
So obviously, I rocket mine, but it hits the cup. So I got pretty lucky. And here's the comeback for par, and we're slightly off. Fortunately, the group in front of me let me play through, but of course, I played awful. I snap hooked my tee shot, and it goes into the hazard.
That's trouble.
So I end up dropping and taking a stroke.
It's okay, I'll just drop it up.
This next one, I hit it into the hazard again.
Ah.
And now we're laying 4, hitting 5. And at least this one gets onto the green, but we have a very, very long putt. And to get out of the way from the people behind me, of course I didn't take too much time to look it up.
Okay, well they let me through, so I gotta quickly hit this.
And like I was saying earlier, the greens here are no joke. There's a lot of undulation, they're pretty fast, and some of them are also huge. This green in particular was massive. So here is my putt for triple, and this one misses as well.
3-putt was gonna be the...
But now we're clear of the group in front of me, and we're smooth sailing. Once again, Johnny Miller taking advantage of the mountains.
No! Get right! Whew. Whew.
This ball was in the air for a long time. Here's my chip.
Oh no!
And a filled-in bunker. Not an ideal lie. But this one ends up hitting the flagstick.
Oh! Dang.
So now I'm set up for what would be a pretty good bogey, but I failed to convert.
What?
So for those of you who have played this course, what are your thoughts? This course is semi-private.
There we go, fairway.
And much like Madera Country Club, this is a really cool track.
Oh my gosh.
Albeit, this is a very punishing course if you're off your game. After blading it across the green, I chip on,
I mean, I can only pray.
and I have a pretty good look here at par, and we fail to convert.
Why?
Also, if you pay real close attention, you'll notice that my Arcos is way off. Something happened with the maps and the tee off distance. Just keep that in mind when you see the Arcos flash up.
Mini D all day. All day.
So we're on the 9th hole here, laying up into the par 5. The mini driver has been on full display because I lost all confidence off the tee with my actual driver. And the course is narrow.
Oh, it's very thin ski.
My approach to the green ends up being a tad short, so we're going to have to take a bump and run. And hits the flag. And we have a short one for par that finally converts.
Thank you, Lordy Lord.
And now we're on to the back 9. And you can see the elevation here is pretty crazy. Per the usual, it doesn't really show up on camera. But for those of you who like those hilly golf courses, this will be right up your alley. And here is my approach into the green. We're on regulation. We're looking pretty good. And this will be a straightforward 2-putt finally. And a mini spoiler alert, this will be a start of a par train.
I like that, finally.
And here we go again. Another elevated tee box. Mini driver out in full force. Unfortunately for me though, I had a long second shot into the green and I chunked this one. And I wanted to show here, yes, I take care of the course, but it's not something I put in my videos all the time because it's boring to watch. And with a low overhanging tree, I just punched this one under the branches and onto the green, and ends up in decent position for a par. And I will admit, I'm still trying to find my way with the lab, but this one ends up being a good one.
Wow. Wowzers.
Next up, uphill par 5.
Ah.
This one ends up being a little bit skied off the toe. I'm still struggling with my driver. I end up chunking this one. And fatigue is setting in. This next shot, I'm just praying to get around the green. And we end up in this dried up ditch area short. Fortunately, we were able to hit a very lucky chip onto the green.
I was lucky.
And this one ends up being close enough where I can convert the par.
All right.
Taking out mini driver.
Oh,
Spinny fade is back.
and it's fading. Shoot.
This time I'm in trouble, but I end up falling out with one of the best recovery shots.
Dude, that was so perfect and lucky.
It always feels terrible to follow up a great recovery with a bad shot.
Down. Oh no, sit. Ah.
And here is the par attempt. Still trying to get used to that lap golf sound, and we'll settle for bogey.
Not very good.
Coming up next, long par 3. We're on to regulation. And watching this video back, I realized there's a ton of variety on this golf course. Here is the birdie attempt, and this one ends up being super short, not great.
What the heck was that?
And this is a testy distance for par, but at least it goes in.
Okay, well, terrible first putt.
Wide fairway, we're cranking.
Just be safe.
This one ends up drawing to the left, but we're okay. And one thing to note about Central Valley courses is that they have dormant grass in the winter times. I wonder how this course will be when the grass comes back. So far I've been having a good time, but this course is challenging.
Crud.
And as this ball rolls a little bit backwards, I have my par putt coming up, and I'm unable to convert.
Awful.
And in typical golf perfection fashion, a meltdown is coming.
Oh.
So I lose this drive right, which is a-okay. It's a pretty wide fairway. Nothing out of the normal here. Second shot here ends up going back to the fairway that I need to get into, but I fall short. But it's this shot that causes all the trouble. I end up into the trees on my third shot into the green. We'll just let this one play out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
So it's 3 shots to get out of the trees. I end up blading it over the green to this position here. So I'm chipping on them for my 7th shot.
Stay up. No.
And this one ends up rolling out pretty far.
No.
So I have a putt here for triple bogey. And I miss this one.
Ooh.
And here is the comeback. And luckily I make this one for my quadruple bogey. And now we're well over bogey golf. And that's just how it goes sometimes.
Oh, gosh dang it.
This one ends up being chunked to oblivion, but at least we're dry. I end up blading this across the green and end up hung up on the back hill. And I'm just going to say this was probably one of the better up and downs of the day. I barely sneaked this one on with my pitching wedge.
I don't mind that.
And this is a scary downhill putt, but the lab putter handles it with ease.
Bogey.
And now we're on to the last hole. What a cool track.
Oh, I fell back and off the toe, but I mean, it's in the fairway, so.
Johnny Miller, you are a mad lad. Even though I got destroyed by this course, it was a lot of fun, and the greens are crazy.
I hope, I think, I'm not sure.
I will eventually have to come back here and get my quote-unquote revenge, even though I'm not sure if I'll be able to do so.
Down.
Unfortunately, we were able to end the day on a good note with a par here.
Par.
And we end the round here with 22 over par. So what do you think about this course? Let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Keep chasing. We'll see you in the next one.